This movie is smarter, deeper, and more revolutionary than anyone gave it credit for. I'm talking a moral epic about power, guilt, and of course, a spirit stick. Yep, you guessed it, I'm talking about Bring It On. If you were to ask a film critic or cinephile to list their top films that showcase classic storytelling structure, Bring It On would probably never come to mind. But Bring It On is not just a teen comedy. It's a classic heroine's journey wrapped in full twisting layouts and spirit fingers. When I first watched this movie at 13 years old, I thought it was fun and campy. I loved the routines, the drama, the music. But seeing it now with a storyteller's lens, it's a masterpiece of structure, morality, and identity. This film takes the cheerleader archetype, which was typically portrayed as mean, shallow, dumb, or boy-obsessed, and completely flips it on its head. The cheerleaders in this movie are smart, strong, caring, and serious athletes. They mess up, they grow, they look out for each other, so we're already introduced to a world we haven't really seen before. Torrance Shipman, played by Kirsten Dunst, has just been made cheer captain for the Toros. In her ordinary world, she is pretty, popular, and has the perfect boyfriend. It seems like her senior year is off to a great start, but of course, all of that changes. Her call to adventure comes when Missy, the new squad member, reveals to Torrance that all of their team's cheers have been stolen from a superior yet disenfranchised squad from Compton, the Clovers. Enter moral crisis. From there, Torrance goes through every step of the heroine's journey. She refuses the call to adventure before ultimately crossing the threshold by challenging the squad to develop an original routine for nationals. The Toros, who fear that such a drastic change could cost them the championship, serve as the story's threshold guardians. Torrance finds allies and mentors in Missy and Cliff, and he serves as the romantic interest in the film since we all know that Torrance's actual boyfriend is total garbage. Where Bring It On goes from fun to fascinating is Torrance's central moral dilemma. This is about stolen work. Her team's success has been built on the theft of routines from an underfunded, underrepresented black cheer squad. She has to decide, do I keep doing what works and make everybody happy, or do I risk everything to do what's right? This is about whiteness, accountability, and privilege. The Toros' sanitized, palatable versions of the Clovers' battle cries are met with trophies and praise, while the Clovers are ignored. No one calls it what it is: gentrification, colonization. The Clovers are the innovators, but the Toros are the ones who get all of the recognition. At 13 years old, this movie showed me what cultural appropriation was before I knew anything about that term. I knew that the Clovers were the true heroes of the story, and they didn't need any help from the Toros in order to achieve their goals. Even at a young age, I knew that we weren't supposed to be rooting for the Toros to win, but that we were rooting for them to compete honestly and ultimately have the resurrection and redemption arc that came as a reward for their integrity. This movie creates its own mythology, cheerleading as a religion in this film. It gives these characters discipline, purpose, meaning. The Clovers even refer to themselves as inspiration leaders. They understand that what they do matters to their community. And of course, there's the spirit stick. When Torrance drops it during cheer camp, she's convinced she's cursed. It's silly and a ridiculous little bit, but also it's a brilliant piece of symbolic storytelling. It represents shame, guilt, fear, superstition, and it gives a fun, vibrant, fantastical view into the world of cheerleading and the tribal elements of their society. Then comes the final test, nationals. The Toros lose, but they win something better: self-respect. They don't take first place, but they can take pride in the fact that they competed honestly. This is a classic comedy ending in the mythic sense. Not because everyone's laughing, but because there's catharsis and rebirth. Bring It On walked so Mean Girls could run. It gave us real characters, a real moral core, and a structure that deserves to be studied. If this movie were about a football team who'd stolen plays from another school, I guarantee critics would have called it a sports masterpiece. But because it's feminine and about a sport that's often belittled, it isn't taken seriously. This film has a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, and frankly, I don't feel like that's fair. Some of the critics said things like, truly lame dialogue, and some reviews are really, really gross. You'll see more navels in this PG-rated film than in a Florida orange grove. Bring It On is otherwise as skimpy as some of the clothes worn by Dunst. So that's all these men noticed about the movie, young women's bodies. Are we surprised? Anyway, while certain jokes were definitely dated, I think in general the core of this film was ahead of its time. Bring It On is more than just a cult classic. It's a modern-day fable about ethics, privilege, and ambition. Personally, I give this film an 8 out of 10, but that's just me.